Have you ever wondered why this younger generation that we commonly know as Gen Z, which is now entering into our workforce, why are they so impatient? Or why they are in so much of a hurry? Or why they do not have that sense of respect for the seniors the way we used to have? Or why they are the way they are? If the answers to these questions is a yes, it means that you are definitely dealing with this younger generation, or specifically we call Gen Zs. Now, if that's the case, this video series is the answer for you, which comes with the practical tips and tools to lead and manage Gen Zs better. So, let's get started. Hi, my name is Rajat Kumar Sharma, your leadership, behavioral, and communications coach. And in this video series, we are going to discuss in detail about how to lead and manage Gen Zs better. But before we get into the depth of leading and managing, let's first try to understand who exactly Gen Zs are and why are they so different from the previous generations that we have seen so far in our workspaces. So to start with, let's understand that Gen Z refers to the employees or people or humans born between year 1997 and 2012. So this is a 16-year window wherein if a person is born in there, he or she is referred to as Gen Z. Just in a similar way, 16-year window before that, which was 1981 till 1996, we refer to them as Gen Ys or Millennials. And 16-year window before that, we refer to as Gen X. And the ones before them, baby boomers, who are right now in their superannuation or retirement from the workforce across the globe. So Gen Zs are the newest, the freshest, the brightest of the people who are entering into our workforces now. But what makes them different is their way of looking at things. So the first thing we need to understand about them, they are born amidst technology. Mobile phones, devices, internet, AI is something that they have been seeing from a very young age, and it doesn't scare them. Rather, they look at them with a sense of opportunity. This is the generation which has seen and experienced a lot of things over social media, and that is why in the workspaces they value authenticity, they value inclusion, they value purpose. They are not at all afraid to question. They want to learn and grow fast, and they want to see the impact of their work. And this is what makes them different from the generations before them. So if we chart out three main points, what makes Gen Zs different from the other generations or the previous generations, the first one would be they prefer direct communication. They do not want to wait for messages. They do not want too formal, too long, too complicated emails, messages, communication. They want something to be very simple and direct and personal. If the feedback is for them, it must be told it is for them for that particular instance at work, which happened maybe, say, 2 days before, 4 days before, or a week before. Which brings us to the second key difference that they have. They prefer continuous feedback. Unlike our generation or the generations before us, they do not want to wait for the entire year to listen to how well or how poorly they were at the work. They want instant feedback of everything that they are doing. And if the feedback is not instantaneous, they start to look at the leader with a sense of suspicion. They do not feel comfortable with those leaders. That is why continuous feedback, sitting with them, if not possible, say every week, once in a fortnight, once in 2 weeks, once in a month, is the bare minimum that you as a lead or a manager you are supposed to do. And the third key difference that they have in comparison to the previous generations is work-life integration. Now, till our generation, it was work-life balance that we were looking for, which clearly means that for us, Work and life were two separate entities, and there was a clear line between the two. But the Gen Zs, they do not see that difference. To them, work has to be purposeful. What we discussed in the beginning, they look for authenticity, they look for purpose. So, if the work has that sense of purpose for them, there is no work timing. They can work for you as much as it would be demanded. But if they are asked to come to office just for the heck of it, without any valid reason, if you want them to travel for a couple of hours on daily basis just because everyone does so, they might not agree to it. So, give them the sense of purpose and the authenticity that they are looking for, and then work and life, it's all just one package for this younger generation. One of my personal favorite examples of understanding and leading Gen Zs better comes from Microsoft. In year 2014, when Satya Nadella took over the office as a CEO, the first thing that he did was he addressed the challenges and the inhibitions that the younger workforce had, because Microsoft at that time and even today had a huge pool of younger workforce, which at that time had stopped to believe much in the organization. There was too much of bureaucracy, there was too much of structure and too much of hierarchy in the organization. But Satya Nadella started to bring along the younger generation with different ideathons, cohorts, town halls. He allowed them to share, he allowed them to speak up. Result, products like Microsoft Azure, Microsoft Cloud, Microsoft Teams, which are part and parcel of each and every working professional's life today. And in order to achieve this, what all Satya Nadella had to do was to just include and empower the younger workforce. So here is the most important takeaway for you. In order to understand and lead Gen Zs better, firstly, stop stereotyping them, stop judging them for the way they are. Rather, be the first amongst the equals, as the agile methodology says. Do not be a boss. Be the first, the primary co worker amongst them who leads by example. Listen to them, learn from them, and create a space where ideas can thrive. And if we just stick to these basics, I'm pretty sure the productivity of your team and the productivity of the organization would scale up to at least double, if nothing less. In our next video, we'll talk about how to communicate with Gen Zs effectively. What is it they are looking for in communication specifically, and how your communication can make or break the relationship with them. See you in the next video.